Hi, YouTube. Okay, so I told you guys that I was gonna get kind of weird, and here goes. So I was thinking about Columbus Day or Indigenous People Day, and I started to think, what the actual F? You know what I mean? Like, okay, Columbus wasn't the best of people. Absolutely not. But he was the person who brought Europeans to America, which I understand that the indigenous people of this country would be like, fuck him. You know what I mean? Like, it's all his fault that our life got changed completely. I get that. And I can also understand people of African American descent being like, fuck him. Because of him bringing Europeans to the United States, that's why, well, what is now the United States, that's why we got brought over here by the boatloads. You know what I mean? I understand that. But at the same time, had none of those things happened, we wouldn't have the country in which we live today. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? We wouldn't have the United States of America as you know it. There wouldn't be running water, toilets, this freedom of speech that we have and that I'm enacting right now. We wouldn't have all of the liberties that we enjoy. Yeah, there are a lot of fucked up things in this country right now. Absolutely. I am gonna totally concede to that. Yes. But this is still the best country in the world economically, comfort-wise. There's Dubai, and there's other places in the world that are like really nice, you know. But for the most part, this country is amazing. You can make a fortune here if you set your mind to it. You can do whatever you want here and not have to deal with too many pig bastards. Well, it's getting kind of harder. It is getting harder. The United States of America is losing some power, so they are becoming a little bit more totalitarian and tyrant and aggressive in their, authority. But I mean, that happens whenever anybody's losing power. You know what I mean? Like, they'll be like, oh my God, they're scrambling to like gain any sense of semblance of authority back. You know what I mean? Give me just a second while I get my microphone. Okay, back. Sorry about that. I hope you can hear me a little bit better. But yeah. So what do I want to talk about Columbus Day for? Okay. I don't believe it should be a holiday, but I also don't believe that it should be swept under the table or, told to people like, oh, Columbus came and raped everyone that was already here. They say he discovered America and he didn't, which he didn't. I mean, it was already discovered, obviously, by other people. Other people were already living here. So he didn't discover it. He just discovered it for the Europeans who didn't know it fucking existed. You know what I mean? And since they were the ones who created the country, they wrote their own history, and that's how they decided to put it. He discovered it for us because we didn't have any freaking idea, you know? We thought the world was flat, and there are still people who think the world is flat. And honestly, I'm not even sure. There are so many lies in this world. It might just motherfucking be flat. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so, what I want to say. All right. It shouldn't be a holiday. Like, you shouldn't have to celebrate his finding America, in a sense. In a sense, yes. In a sense, no. Because, yeah, he found America. The Europeans came over. They did all this stuff. They created a country that's amazing. In and of itself, it is pretty amazing, I gotta say. But he did do a bunch of bad things. So it should be something or a day to remember and discuss the whole truth of Christopher Columbus, not just that he discovered America. You know what I mean? And I think, in a way, what's going on now with the debate, Indigenous People Day or whatever it is that's going on, yeah, I can see that. You know what I mean? I can understand that. And I think it's good. But at the same time, I think it's like, don't just focus on how bad Christopher Columbus was, because he was horrible to even my country, Dominican Republic. They have statues of him and stuff like that. Should they start tearing down the statues? I don't think so. Because if you don't have those pieces of history those like mnemonic devices, I would say, in place, the next generation isn't gonna know. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, if you take down all of Lee Jackson's anything, change all of the roads that say Lee Jackson, take down every Confederate flag, every Confederate name, every Confederate monument, take everything down. What happens? Let's think about racism for a second. What would happen? Yeah, for a while we'd be like, yeah, we did it, da 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 da. But then a few generations would pass by and people would forget completely any of this information. You know what I mean? Maybe they teach it in school. But again, I don't trust the school system that much. So I think we need those things in place so that we can tell our children and have that conversation with the next generation. Why? Why is it important to have that conversations with our children? It's important to have conversations in general about your life, about your past, about the things that you've been through, about the things that your grandparents were through, your grandma, society as a whole, because we learn from our history. If we don't learn from our history, we're doomed to repeat it. People are always going to be racist in one way or another, whether we want to or not, because we are creatures of habit. If we find something strange and new that we don't understand, we kill it or we run away from it. That's just how human beings work, okay? It's very seldom that we stop and try to observe it and understand it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's very seldom. Maybe that should be what we teach our kids. Don't be afraid. Watch and understand. And then again, that might backfire too. So it really depends. You know what I mean? Like, you can't stop to understand a carnivorous creature that's going to come at you and kill you. Like, well, I stopped to understand. Now look what happened. I stopped to observe. Like, everything has its place, I guess. So we're like this for a reason, right? So racism would just continue if we do not have these discussions with one another. Do you know what I'm saying? And I understand the whole movement, cultural appropriation and all of these things, but at the same time, I think it's becoming too much. Like, sometimes I like to speak like Mexicans. Why? I watch a lot of Mexican novelas. I love the way they talk sometimes, you know what I mean? And so I speak like a Mexican sometimes. The same with like urban movies and things like that. I sometimes speak in a way that other people would find like, is she trying to make fun of me or something like that? And I'm not. I'm absolutely not. It just comes out because I watch so many movies and like I just like the culture. So that's another thing that I think is kind of strange, like this new cultural appropriation thing. Like, no, don't go out and paint your face black if you're white. Absolutely not. That has a negative connotation because of all of the things that they used to do in cinema where they wouldn't give black people roles. So white people would play black people and they'd be super derogatory and use what are those things even called? Like when you take all the bad traits of a person and you just make them as if that was of a certain community and make that, I forget, whatever. So that's why you shouldn't do blackface, And speaking of blackface, there was a girl, a woman who has a talk show. I can't remember her name, but she is Anglo-Saxon. And she was talking about Halloween costumes and how she didn't understand why blackface was inappropriate for Halloween. And Don Lemon said, oh, how could that be? That at this day and age, how could you not understand that that's inappropriate? Da, 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 da. Just because you're an adult doesn't mean you understand everything. Just because you're an adult doesn't mean that you're not ignorant to certain things. Honestly. Like, you're not good. And then that's another thing, when they take things that people said 20 years ago and they use it against them today, like, people evolve. People change. People learn. People grow. Why would you go back and take something that somebody said even 5 days ago and use it against them now. Like, what if they learned in those 5 days? What if they were like, oh, damn, I was wrong in those 5 days? Do you use something that a 9-year-old says against him when he's 18 years old? Like, when I was 9, I wanted to be a veterinarian and take care of unicorns. Is that something that somebody should use against me now? Oh, that bitch wanted to take care of unicorns. Que estúpida. You know what I mean? Why do we go back and do this to people? It's becoming a society of like witch hunt. It's becoming a society of like pansy ass bitches. I gotta say it. Like, I'm sorry. But everybody's just like, everything offends me. Just because you're offended doesn't mean it's true. You know? Oh, how could you? And how did you not use the correct pronoun for me? You look like a girl. What the heck am I supposed to know that you're a demi feminine, masculine? I don't know what the heck these pronouns are and all these like titles and shit for people. You look like a girl. So I'm going to call you her, she, woman, lady, ma'am, miss. Like, we're going to just end up being a society of mute people because everything we say is going to offend somebody in some way. And this more than likely is offending somebody. And for my 11 subscribers that I have today, I'm sorry. I might lose like 12 of you. I'm sorry. But I mean, it was something that I had in my brain and I had to say. And like I said, like a few posts back, I'm just going to be weird from now on. I'm just going to say what I want to say because that's what I created this channel for in the first place. We're becoming a society of people who just cannot speak to each other anymore because as soon as somebody opens their mouth, someone else is offended. And I mean, where are we ever going to get with that? Sometimes you have to get a little bit offended and kind of see things from other people's perspective in order to see things from other people's perspective and get to the root cause of everything. And kind of both of you kind of change your mind and see a common ground. Do you know what I'm saying? Like what we're having now is just people who are like, this is my point of view. And if you don't agree with my point of view, then you are wrong. You didn't even hear my side. Oh no, but you're wrong. But how do you know you're right? You haven't even heard my side. How do you know I don't have points that are valid? No, you're wrong. We can't even have conversations with each other anymore. It's sad. So that's what I was thinking about when I was thinking about doing this video today, just about Christopher Columbus, I guess, and just in general, what I see the world turning into. And it's kind of sad, and I hope that it doesn't do that. I hope that we can have open discussions with one another so that we can all grow and change and evolve, because that's what this world is about, right? Us as human beings, as souls within these avatars, learning and growing. Well, the only way to learn and grow is to learn and grow, to listen to other people's opinions and formulate new ones of your own. If you get stuck with your opinion and you don't want to listen to anyone else's, you're not going to grow. You're just not. That's like a little kid not wanting to make their bed. And no matter how much I tell my kids to make their bed, they're just not listening and they don't want to do it and they're not going to make their bed. So guess what? They're never going to learn to make their bed because they don't want to listen. They don't want to take direction and they don't want to do it. Well, that's the same thing that's going to happen to our society if we don't stop. We're just not going to listen. We're not going to take direction. We're not going to pay attention. We don't want to listen to anybody else's side. So therefore, everything's wrong. Why? Why can't we be a little more mature? I think as a whole, we're just being immature. And it's sad. From the moment this president got into power, hey, gotcha. From the moment this president got into power, I felt like everything just became so immature. Like as soon as he was in power, they were like, nope, we gotta check all of the ballots. Somebody must have doubled up on the ballots. How could, like even while they were watching the votes come in, like you could tell they were like so disappointed. Like, no, this can't be. Oh my God, this can't be. The person that was supposed to win didn't win. And this has to be, there's a conspiracy behind this and there has to be something. It's like, as soon as it happened, the whole country became immature, whiny little bitches, I gotta say. And then now that we're having all of these inquiries and, oh, you know, He put kids in these jails, and he separated from their families all these people trying to cross the border. So did Barack Obama and the Democrats when they were in power. In fact, it was even worse. They put them to work in farms for free. Yeah, look it up. I don't have any like documents and stuff like that because I don't do research. I just speak, okay? But it happened. And nobody said anything then. But now, because it's this president and they hate this president and they want to go after him and they want to get him out of office because they hate the fact that he's there. Since the moment the tallies came in, oh, everything's a big deal now. Barack Obama gave so much. Oh my God. Like this whole issue with Mexico in the first place is because of the Democratic Party that they had for 8 years giving, stuff to other people who were probably not as good as they could have been. And they've been getting ready for war for a long time because I think it was 2012, they armed ICE. The Democratic Party armed ICE with hollow point bullets, like billions and billions of rounds of hollow point bullets. Hollow point bullets, by the way, guys, it has like a concave entry, like the front part of the bullet is kind of like concave and kind of like serrated. So when it goes through you, it cuts through you where whatever it goes through, there's no saving it. Why would ICE need that? With such a great press, why would they need that? ICE, someone who works for Homeland Security, I think it is, detaining people that are illegal in this country. And we all thought at that time, more than likely, getting ready for martial law and getting ready to enact some totalitarian authoritative power within the United States, because at the end of the day, it's more than likely what's going to end up happening here. That's what they're pushing for. That's why they cause all these divisions between each other, between the different viewpoints, Democrat, Republican. Honestly, it's two sides of the same coin. It's the same coin. They're going to end up doing the same things. What we need is more people independent and more people thinking independently other than just for your party. But whatever. I'm just ranting over here. I'm just saying. Be the best person you can be. Don't get so offended and uptight over things that happened in the past. Every single country, every single culture has something tyrannical and some bad history behind them. Every single country. Why? Because we're all human beings. We're all assholes. We're all greedy. We're all selfish. We're all tyrannical. We can all be really, really cruel to each other since the beginning of time. Okay? And the only way to change it is to have discussions, to teach, and to learn. But if we don't do those things, nothing is gonna change. And if we continue to suppress other people's points of view, we're never going to learn. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, take away the holiday if you want, but don't take away the lesson. Teach people, Columbus came here, fucked up everybody that was already here, claimed this place as his own, and brought a bunch of Europeans here who also fucked up the people that were living here. And they really got fucked, like royally motherfucking fucked. Like they're still fucked right now. And I mean, even with the pipeline, when Obama was in power, he sent military out there too. And then Trump did the same thing. But everything fell on Trump because, he was the one who, at the end of the day, was the one who enacted everything at the end of the day. But whatever. I'm sorry, my Native American people. I don't know if I have any Native American in me, probably from Dominican Republic, more than likely. I'm sorry that you got fucked. Absolutely. But it is what it is at this point, right? Like, we can't go back. We can't get into a time machine and change everything. So we have to push forward. And pushing forward, yeah, maybe it would be nice to have more rights for you. That would be beautiful if somebody in Congress would enact that. But even Pocahontas or Elizabeth Warren isn't going to do that because nobody really gives a fucking damn. In the government, they're all too narcissistic and too self-serving to even look at things like that. So good luck. Good luck to you. The best thing we could do is learn, choose better leaders by choosing people that are not affiliated with parties, but rather are affiliated with morals and have a good compass to their character. I think that would be the best thing to do. Listen to what people are saying. Listen to what they have done in the past. Look at what they've done in the past and really make the best choice. Honestly, none of the candidates for me, I don't know who the independent candidates are, but everyone in the Democratic Party, everybody, well, the one person in the Republican Party, Godspeed, America. Godspeed. We need it. Pray. Pray. Thank you for watching. I hope I didn't lose too many of you. Have a great day.